Okay, when you meet somebody, they need to know what you're about when checking out your stuff sonically and aesthetically. Things are mad crazy. I have no idea what's going to happen. Huh. Sometimes when everything is falling apart, it's a new beginning. Somehow, I feel like I said that before. So I've been really going hard on writing things down, and I've come to notice it is not a problem if you journal a lot on a lot of different topics. Sometimes you've got to go through these little spaces of time where it's okay to write about anything and everything that comes to mind, anything that inspires you. Write it down once more so that it leaves like an imprint, like some kind of, you don't just receive it, but you really like internalize whatever little message that you want to internalize out of whatever you just received, whatever you just read through. And I used to think it as almost like a bad thing if I make like 10 notes, 20 notes, 30 notes, 100 notes, and I don't really visualize them or act on them, even though initially when I had the thought, I wrote it down and I thought I would turn this into some little movie, some little vlog, some little something, a song or whatever. And it turned out to be nothing at all, because somehow the moment you write it is like, it's like creativity loves speed. I would say art loves flow, loves movement. So when you write it, it's like fresh out the bakery. I like to call it fresh out the kitchen of letters. And that's when I usually record anything I call poetry, because I never memorize that. I just recorded it right after I wrote it down, and I write it as fast as I can, so I never overwork it, like when I do it. Anyway, so there's something positive about that, because it doesn't keep you stuck. It's almost like, I feel like we are far too focused on creating a finished something. Like, we think that we gotta open any notebook and now start with the blueprint, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But maybe you're just supposed to write whatever, brainstorm whatever. There's this exercise apparently my friend told me about, that you can just, open your journal every morning and write whatever comes to mind. And there's a reason for that. I kind of see that now, because over the past like 3 days, I've been writing so much different stuff. And it's just like, it is actually leading to the answer that I've been asking God. Like, I've been really like at this crossroads of decisions, and I'm confused, and I don't want to take the wrong turn just because I didn't spend enough time until I knew which way to go. Now, in some situations, you're not supposed to act. You're supposed to, be patient like that. But I'm acting in the sense of I'm kind of exploring everything in words, because that's like my language. Call it love language to myself, whatever. But that's how I grow and heal and learn. And so I also kind of figured out that I really need to be precise about my mission here online, I guess, whatever. So I was just writing this here, which is basically everything I'm doing on this channel, but I'm going to break it down into one line. And this is the thing that always changes a bit, but I know last year I said it's about healing my inner child, but I'm like, hell, what? I know that was last year. This is a whole different thing, and this is always part of it. But I just think I really look up to creators that have their mission pretty tight. You're not for everybody, and whatever you're saying, whatever you are here to actually verbalize, visualize, or put into frequencies, create art with, put into colors, put on a canvas, I don't know, is like is really, you're gonna figure that out if you try out a lot of things. And I feel like that's where the ends meet. Like, everything that you try out meets somewhere, and that's basically your style. And so I was like just trying to figure out something I need for myself. It's just like really prioritize that topic there. Well, so that's basically going to be about follow your soul's journey, but in the sense of I really want to empower people just to, go after what they feel inside. That feeling that they desire to do something, that they want to try out something, or later even on. I feel like, after trying it out, it gets even harder sometimes. So you're like, oh, like this is not making money, damn. But like this is what you're supposed to do. And then I'm thinking, well, put the money aside. Whatever you're doing is actually something that other people out there who receive your art are going to profit much more from that than if you go and work a job that nobody profits from, or even worse, you work for one of those companies and there's quite a lot that's pretty much hell. Like you're supporting, everything that you're not supposed to support. Like that's not actually what you're here for. So you should go after that. Now, put it into better words. You are a gift to the world that needs to be received. All of this plays a part, but sometimes it's easier to, get clarity over something. And this is how I gain clarity is by writing things down more and more. I got this beautiful notebook from my cousin. So always gotta have one that you actually feel. This one is for journaling and all these things. And then I also been using 2 more notebooks. Actually using, not just writing 1 page and putting that to the side. I got this one where I currently arrange my projects, as in beats, songs, whatever. Not arrange, well, order. It's simply for me to find what I made and then know what I want to go back to. And then I got this one, which is more like a business thing. So I'm writing about income streams and all of this. Also, really a lot of brainstorming stuff going on. And I do like these big books. Like they have a lot of space in there, which is something cool, but I wouldn't want it for a journal. And then what else? I started to read another book. This is The Alchemist, which is super famous. I think my favorite part of the book was the beginning, the foreword, where he explains how after, I guess he was already 40 years old or something. And it's that story, that nobody wants to publish your book until it becomes a bestseller and goes like that. And that's really that. Like, I feel like I just got on Substack and I feel like, we live under this blanket of once somebody has finally gotten the attention of media or something like that, once you have like a couple million followers, you're safe in the sense of, people are going to read what you write. People are going to see what you do. People are going to see your craft. And you can basically start to be really shitty with it because, hey, they might, people criticize you anyway, but you're still going to live off that no matter what. But then there's so many amazing people who live under this blanket of never being seen. And it's just like so discouraging for yourself because you're like, well, but if I write this good, shouldn't people find it? Well, no, not like that. You gotta like put out a lot of things to organically make that thing like hit. Because it's one thing is like a hit or miss, like it's just not gonna hit. So I feel like that's such an encouraging story, that he believed in his book and he was surely the only one. And if he had just not tried anymore because the first person told him no, whatever, then nobody would have read it. Nobody at all. So I don't even care if I like this book or not. But that already is great in itself. Because that's also really tied closely into the what did I call it before? Mission statement? That's not the right word. Well, what I'm on this YouTube channel here to do is exactly that. Empower you to actually go after what your journey is and what you are, your purpose is. Just that. So you can actually transcend into that reality. Because truly, I feel like, sometimes when you have this strong vision of seeing yourself in an environment that's different, doing different things and being really successful, that's not by coincidence. That is actually something that you can. It's like a parallel reality, right? You can snap into if it was that easy, but it's actually like that. And that's really the core of everything here. So, yeah. That's all I want to say with that. And meanwhile, I'm trying to make it a habit to post more of a kind of creating vlog. So meaning that whatever music type of thing I make, mm, I'm just gonna cut it together, put it online, I guess. Not always. Usually, when the camera is off, I still do always make the best things. Like always. There's some little thing about that, but it doesn't mean that I cannot create something good when the camera is on. It's just, you know, has happened to you. If you can vlog for 3 hours and you turn off the camera, and then within the next 10 minutes, something amazing is gonna happen. Like, But I guess that's how it is for everybody out there. This is what we actually perceive on every type of screen. It's not reality, it's something like that. And I just like to bring it as close as I can to life. That's why I like to edge the vlog side of videos while I'm not a vlogger. I'll just edge it, okay? So, I don't know, since I kind of figured out for the first time in my life and never have posted anything, how to actually get the audio out of my MacBook into this camera, damn. Yeah, we're gonna do that. But one thing then, it sometimes sounds funny to me, like the mix that I hear in my ears, say the beat to voice relation or the reverb or whatever, it does sound a lot different sometimes through my speakers than it later will in the video. But that's something I'm just gonna learn by doing whatever, so. And that's another thing, like this time of the year, I really, really love to collect a lot of ideas. So my beats are unmixed loops that I record on with this performance mic there. Also really, I think there is this huge parallel of everything I write in my journal and my music that I always wanted to bring to life. Now I know it's really boring to go on and on about the meaning of your tracks and whatever, but I think the coolest thing, for example, about Cole's The Fall Off was just I'm just a fool for concepts. So like whatever he said 26 a little bit too much, because that was actually I wanted to drop on the 26. Now this is really over having two sides of the album, and one being the perspective of him being 29 and the other one being 39 is dope. I didn't feel it. I read through the whole lyrics and then I was so confused because it was way too much to take in. But it's not like I didn't get it, but it wasn't really clicking with me. Anyway, what was I saying? I love these type of concepts, and I really enjoy people actually explaining what their album is about, what their mixtape is about, what their name is about, names of the tracks is about, and basically everything about that. So if I love it, maybe there's somebody else out there who enjoys those type of things. So that's something I heavily want to incorporate into these videos too. Heavily. It's actually easy to explain. It's not that deep. But then I do feel like it needs explaining, because if it comes out of my mind, probably somebody else could never analyze that just based off the plain lyrics itself. Alright, let's get into that. Also, the sun wasn't out for 15 days. I swear. The sun is out today. This is where I'm filming. Let's check out what I made. Was that 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago. That gets me thinking, I did not tune the toms either. It was just a real quick thing, so I love to do it really fast, and then like later on you're like, what is this? So my favorite thing is toms for a transition. This one here. This is my most used sound in Omnisphere, because hell. this is an example of how your bass sounds so good when it's not all mono, when it's higher. Like, so I do use this here, so I can like say, all right, let's make this 100. I don't know. Still a difference. So another thing I made is this here. The thing is, I have no clue how this sounds, so. I settled for the most repetitive one because this is. So I gotta have surgery on my knee because basically my bones are like touching because there's not much going on in between the bones, which is usually supposed to be there. I don't have any pain. Maybe because I'm a dancer, it makes it even worse. Like, that's my only sports I do, right? I go up in my attic, I dance. So I don't have any pain. And I was like, when I found out I have to have surgery, I was like, well, I don't have pain, so bitch, I just tiptoe and I jump like a feather.
I tiptoe when I jump up higher. I land like a feather, I am higher than fly.
Because this is how I land. All my life I've been taking care of kind of my body like that. I don't land like an elephant. I land like a feather. So this is what this track is about. And then I also brought in some kind of Nas references just because Nas is one of my favorite top 3 rappers, is what I always say. And this is apparently the beat. No idea.
I don't like it when the bell is about to ring, y'all.
Actually, I do fuck with this beat. It's not mixed. It still sounds like bones cracking. Perfect. So basically, J. Cole was dropping that thing, and people like say like, "Oh, Nas did it better," blah blah blah, whatever. As I said, Nas is my favorite rapper. What can I say?
Speak to fools, they scorn the wisdom of your words. My heart is wise, bloodshot eyes, the saga never dies. Ghetto prisoners rise, rise, rise.
So I said homage to the greatest of New York vibes. Rewind the bullet, take a deep breath in this life. I know you don't. That's my favorite part. Like, hold up. Just trying to find a tone for this and a flow. And I'm just experimenting until this clicks in place.
I know you don't deserve that shit that you survived. I know you don't deserve that shit that you survived. Homage to the greatest of New York vibes. Rewind that bullet, take a deep breath in this life. I know you don't deserve that shit, guys.
Yeah, I have to actually fail a lot to make this work, but this is the only thing I like.
Rise, rise. When I jump up high, land like a feather, I am higher than fly. 33 degrees on my dreams, puffin' no lies. Born in 93 and still we rise, rise, rise. Bitch, I tiptoe when I jump up high. Cut them loose, they were prisoners, are they all mine? Take a trip on my vision, it's a PTA vibe. Pinch me, baby, I'm falling into blue night skies. Homage to the greatest of New York vibes. Ride a bullet, take a deep breath in this life. I know you don't deserve that shit that you survived. Expand under pressure, we must rise, rise, rise.
Best part where I like.
I tiptoe when I jump up higher. I land like a feather, I am higher than fly. 33 degrees on my dreams, puffin' no lies. Born in 93 and still we rise, rise, rise.
I just recently organized my files that I have made this year because otherwise they get lost. So this one I said is straight fire. So let's go check that one out.
No mouth full of rage and bait. You left your soul for prey. You don't know what's up yet. Can't be televised like a hunter turned to prey. play by.
I think I'll do some completely different.
Sunny side up or the rooftop down. Sunny side up while we chasing rooftops. I be going places and that's what's up. This is not a getaway if you ain't never getting up. I say I've been lazy, 'cause I'm lying on the floor in the sun, collecting my vitamins, bitch. I hope you have an amazing day.